Hello and welcome to the Code Red Dev blog. Today let's talk input mechanisms. Clearly this is an incredibly important part of a game engine since it's going to govern what the player actually uses to interact with any games made with the engine. In the old days, dealing with all the possible kinds of hardware was a total nightmare because you'd have to deal with different drivers to interface with practically every device, but thankfully more modern systems have streamlined the process quite a bit. The system used by the ZFX engine from Xerxton Duval's book is direct input. Given that the book was written in 2004, this tech is by now quite deprecated. It doesn't support Xbox controllers at all, and in general is pretty out of date, so I'm going to skip the specifics of how to interface with this tech. Suffice to say that these days you're much better off using X input to handle Xbox controllers and WinMessage to handle everything else. Some things about input, however, have not changed, namely what exactly you'll be taking input from. There's roughly 3 types of objects to handle: keyboards, mice, and gamepads. And as you can see, they're accordingly subdivided in the code. We have our main class here, which is implementing this. We have a keyboard, a mouse, and a gamepad class. For each one, we'll watch for presses and releases of buttons, which are simple true-false interactions, and we also watch for movement on the mice and the gamepads along 3 axes: left and right click and scroll for the mouse, and up, down, left, right, forward, and backward for joysticks. And we'll update the position on each axis accordingly. One area where I tried to go beyond the book a little bit was to be friendly to gaming mice. The original specification in the text was to only support 3 mouse buttons, but as you can see here, my implementation can handle up to 7, which is the most that direct input supports. However, there's still quite a bit more we could be doing here that we're not. We're not looking for force feedback in our gamepads that could be used to supplement what's on the screen, and more seriously, we aren't supporting custom key and button bindings. This one's absence is quite egregious since it's an industry standard feature, but the best way I can see to modify the codebase to support that would be to add an extra layer of abstraction that translates key or button presses into game actions. At that point, you could easily reassign what key press corresponds to what action. But that is a project for another day. For now, I'm moving on to implementing the ZFX audio engine. As always, thank you for watching. I'm trying to learn more, so if you have any suggestions for what I could be doing better, things I'm doing wrong, I'd love to hear them in the comments. And of course, if you like what I'm doing, please share and subscribe. See you next time!